with trying to lose weight by eating right and exercising more. And now in midlife, we're supposed to take the supplements and take the replacements, and maybe you have medications to take, and we're supposed to be stretching, and we're supposed to be lifting, and we're supposed to be cardioing, and it is so overwhelming to try to age well, right? To just stay healthy. Today, I'm going to share with you one of the main things that I see people doing, even myself, that is sabotaging our pursuit of fitness and weight loss. So stick around and let's cover that real quick so that you can stop doing this to yourself. I'm having trouble with my screen today. Okay, there we go. So what I see people doing over and over is joining a program, maybe even one like mine, and I have done this before in the past too, where there seems to be this laundry list, right, of all the things that need to be changed. So I feel like I call that the scorched earth method of behavior change. Everything is going to change. You're just going to walk into your kitchen with a flamethrower and just mow it all down, burn it down, right? We're not keeping that in the house anymore. None of those foods can live here. All of that has to get out. And I'm not saying that I'm not an advocate of environment change. I am. But trying to change every little thing at once can be overwhelming for so many of us. So when I was working with people who were smoking at my last clinical job, one of the things that I helped them with was smoking cessation or stopping smoking. And every smoker who has tried to quit in the past and maybe relapsed and not been able to get it to stick has a friend or an aunt or a cousin or a sibling who quit on a dime and never went back. Right? And we all have those friends who just say, oh, I just stopped all of a sudden and I never went back. I never wanted it again. And I'm happy for them. I really am. But when it comes to weight loss and fitness, statistics show that that is not most of us. The vast majority of us are able to change a whole lot of behaviors at once, sometimes for a short amount of time, but then we can't get it to stick. So I really want to introduce you to the idea that there is more than one path to fitness, or there's more than one path to success. I'm going to draw for you today. So one way to change is to change it all. And I call that, again, the scorched earth method, which is we're going to burn everything down. Scorched earth. We're just going to burn everything down. These are flames over here. And every single thing is going to change. Then there's also the slow and steady. And what we do frequently is tell ourselves that the slow and steady doesn't count, that it's not going to work, that we're not going to get results at all. This is a little foot. This is slow and steady steps. Those are little feet. I want to give you an example of my own experience, and I have totally been guilty of this. I have completely been guilty of kind of encouraging people that, oh, it's easy. We're just going to track all of our food and we're going to start working out 3 times a week. Easy peasy, nothing to it. If you really break that down into how unbelievably complicated that is, we're going to track all of our food, right? We're going to hit a certain calorie goal. So you have a calorie goal. Then we're also going to go to the gym 3 times a week and do a specific workout plan. Doesn't sound like much. Simple. 3 tiny steps. It's not 3 tiny steps. It is a million steps embedded in here. Under tracking our food, first, we're going to have to download an app, get logged in, and learn to use it. So there's an app that we're going to have to use, right? We're going to have to learn how to use the app. We're going to have to learn about new foods. We're going to have some way of measuring, right? We're going to have to learn to read labels and interpret that into actual behaviors in our kitchen. We're going to have to read these labels and do all this measuring. And that doesn't even, touch the fact that there's other people living up in here. I have people to deal with. I have my family. Sorry. I've got my family to deal with. I've got the dog to deal with. I'm going to mute you for a second. All right. Adventures in Suburbia. Y'all know that was Amazon. And if you've got a dog and he's waiting for the Amazon guy too, getting to the gym 3 times a week is so much more complicated than it looks when you just write it down. I can't do it, by the way, which is why all of my exercise centers around my house. What I want to point out to you is that it's not 3 steps, it's actually hundreds of steps. It's actually hundreds of steps. So, the one thing that I frequently see people doing, including myself, that completely sabotages our journey is trying to change too many things at one time because we believe that that is the only path to success. We probably had a cousin who did it. We had an aunt who did it. We've done it ourselves in the past, but now here we are, and we can't seem to get the same traction as we did before. So do not poo poo on the slow and steady as an incredibly valid way for you to reach your health goals. So, what might that look like? It's one of the main reasons that I developed the 5x9 morning method, which is freely outlined in the comments down below, because it gives you 5 simple, tiny things to start doing right now. Now, if you just do the 5x9 habits by 9 a.m., are you going to drop 20 pounds in a week or a month? No. No, but if you're like me, I'm not dropping 20 pounds in a month anyway, trying to do everything because I can't sustain it. So give yourself permission to break your habits down into micro habits and work on those 1 or 2 at a time max. The 5x9 habits are water, steps, a breakfast with some protein, some gratitude. Check it out. And even if you can't nail all 5, pick 2 and work on those and then add it and layer it on. So, small steps and focusing on small leveraged actions is totally a valid way. And it's actually the way that most of us really work for behavior change. Check it out and let me know what you think in the comments.